extended.
Okay, I understand. Thank you. And finally, regarding Cabinet's refusal to have ministers appear on Observer Radio, and even before our reporters for interviews, is of grave concern to me. As you know, I've voiced those concerns in recent days to both yourself and to several ministers. But I'm extremely perturbed that our reporters are being caught in the middle of something they had nothing to do with. For what it's worth, I'm told categorically you are free to come on any hosted show as an invited guest. I have personally asked some hosts to reach out to you for that purpose. And I'm also told that the slot on Observer AM can also be filled by any other ABLP member. I understand that's not, the stance they would prefer. But regarding your removal from that show, that was a decision outside my remit, not one I would have made personally. But it's very important to note that our newsroom operates separately to the hosted shows. And fundamentally, our reporters are decent, honourable, hard-working young people doing their best to report the news in a fair and balanced manner. The politics, frankly, is irrelevant to them. I disagree with censorship on principle, but denying our reporters the ability to deliver balanced news is also censorship. And this is very important. It stymies the professional development of young, aspiring, predominantly Antiguans, trying to do a decent job in a country where the media industry is still very much in its infancy. It denies ABLP members the opportunity to comment and give balance on matters of importance, not to mention critical information that only they are privy to. Most important of all, it robs the Antigua and Barbudan public of their right to fair and balanced journalism. Media is a cornerstone of democracy. I know I don't need to tell you that, but this stance does the entire nation a disservice. I'm asking very politely and respectfully for the ABLP administration to please not extend this stance to our news reporters, who appear, from where I'm sitting at least, to be unwitting pawns caught in a political game of chess, which has nothing to do with them.
Well, I've heard your remarks. Let me congratulate you for being sufficiently bold to challenge the managing director, I believe that's his title, of Observer, but the Observer Media Group. But we didn't start this, and we know when democracy is threatened. Here's someone who is seeking to become a part of government, who is making decisions that are harmful to our democracy. And we clearly want that message conveyed, that even though the Observer Media Group is a private enterprise operation, it still must interact with government in order to make it a success. And we believe that any attempt on its part to dictate to the government who should or should not speak on its behalf is not a position that the government can accept as being fully democratic. And the words of the Honorable E.P. Chet Green in today's newspaper is I think those words speak loudly to the question of censorship and what it means and how we will fight it and how we will be victorious in the end. I congratulate you once more for your statement of clarity this morning. And we certainly hope that your superior would have heard them and that your superior will act in accordance. Thank you very much for your kind words, ma'am.
May I also just say that I find doing this under the guise of freedom of speech a little ingenuous. The fact of the matter is there's not a single main broadcaster that's free from propaganda these days. With so much of society already heavily politicised, when this extends further into the media, we get into very dangerous ground.
Well, no one knows this better than your boss. He's not only the head of the OMG group, but he's also a political candidate for elections, whenever those may be. And it would seem to us, the cabinet, that he should practice the democracy about which you're clearly articulating. Let him be the first to reverse his stand and let Darren Matthew Ward do what Darren Matthew Ward does best. And he should not be interfering in the programming, we agree. And I'm afraid that collateral damage to the young reporters will be part of the end result, something that we abhor. So it has to be done in order to get the message across. Clearly, he cannot determine for the government of Antigua and Barbuda who shall speak for it and when.